Don't you guys love it when things come full circle in such a beautiful way? About a year ago, YouTuber Rachel Oates, who's one of my favorite creators, put up a video called Gabby Hanna Sent Me Her Poetry Book. In that video, she reviewed Gabby Hanna's second poetry book and even expressed her gratitude that Gabby had sent that poetry book to her. On my channel just a week ago, I posted a video about how Gabby Hanna went off on Rachel Oates on her Instagram story for giving her a bad book review. As an author myself, I do not condone authors coming after reviewers because reviewers need to feel free to express their opinions about the work that they read, since that's their job as reviewers. And even if you're not a professional reviewer, you still have that right to speak about the book as a reviewer. You shouldn't be living in fear that the creator of that thing is going to harass you about it. That is unacceptable. I was appalled at that behavior just from the author perspective. So I made a video about that. And then wouldn't you know it, Rachel Oates sent me her poetry book.
Get you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago.
You guys asked for it.
What's up, my fellow small business supporters? I'm Savvy, and welcome back to Savvy Writes Books, the channel where we talk about books and business, and also sometimes dogs. And that's why today's video is really special, because we are talking about books about dogs, which is the business that I run, is books about dogs. So guys, not only did the whole story with Gabby Hanna and Rachel Oates come full circle, but now this video is full circle. There are so many circles in this video. This video is just concentric circles all over the place. By the way, for this video, I wore my new Forever Home Friends merch. Check this out. There's Wrigley the DJ spinning the records. And then on the back, what do we got? Forever Home Friends! So if you want to check out this new merch we have, it's linked in the description below at my store, foreverhomefriends.com. This is in the new Forever Fashion section. The merch, just like the books and plushies, 10% of profits go to animal shelters. So check this out. I love this one. It's great. So let me break everything down and give a quick recap. There are now 3 people involved in this situation, except I don't have any connection to Gabby Hanna, and I'm hoping I don't after I saw how she acted towards Rachel. Gabby Hanna is a big YouTuber with over 5 million subscribers who wrote a book of poetry, actually wrote 2 books of poetry. Rachel Oates is a smaller YouTuber, bigger than me but smaller than Gabby Hanna, who reviews poetry because she's passionate about poetry and reviews it on a very detailed and very analytical and technical level. She reviewed Gabby Hanna's poetry books. Then a year later, which was now a week ago from today, Gabby Hanna went on Instagram and on her story was so mean to Rachel about the negative reviews and just showed that she was not capable of taking criticism of her work. Then I came into this when I went on YouTube and said, hey guys, I'm an author too, and this is not how you act towards book reviewers. You can get negative reviews of your book. It's going to happen. It is definitively going to happen, and you just have to get over it, because reviewers have the right to say what they want, and reviews are not for you, they are for the customer and for the reader. And then a bunch of people left comments that were like, I hope that what comes of this is Savvy Writes Books and Rachel Oates becoming friends. Well, call me Rhonda Byrne, because I guess you all manifested it, because after that video came out, Rachel Oates reached out to me thanking me for making that video and for standing up for her in it, and we actually got to talking about our writing, our love of books, and our love of dogs. As you guys probably know, I have a sweet pup named Chewy. I love him so much. I run a business called Forever Home Friends, which sells books and plushies as well as other toys and merch based on real rescue dogs and their journeys to adoption, and we give 10% of our profits to animal shelters. And those books are books that I wrote about dogs, so that's kind of how I get my work out there as an author, is by founding my own business surrounding my work about dogs. Well, as I mentioned in last week's video, when Rachel Oates was reviewing Gabby Hanna's poetry, one thing that she did was kind of make a parody of the poetry by having her and her dog write some poems together. So while Gabby Hanna wrote a book called Adultalescence, which had a lot of poetry that seemed kind of underdeveloped and not fully there, Rachel wrote a book called Dogolescence, which wrote poems in the same style but from her dog's perspective. And if you guys know anything about me, you know that I love writing books from dogs' perspectives, because that's what my Forever Home Friends series is about. So Rachel and I got to talking about this, and then she was like, I'll send you my poem poetry book, Dog-a-Lessons. And I was like, I'll send you my poetry book, which is called The Love of Senior Dogs, which features 12 poems and art pieces that I did about 12 different elderly dogs and their stories of getting adopted and things like that. So we sent each other our poetry books. This is all coming full circle. So now I figured I would give Dog-a-Lessons a review on my channel and talk a little bit about that. I hope you guys enjoy this. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not as good of a poetry reviewer as Rachel Oates is. She is fantastic. I think there's a reason that people kind of hold her up as the standard of like some of the best poetry reviews on YouTube. And then one other thought I had when I was watching her video writing poetry with her dog, because she was like making fun of some poetry, was I was like, I roast a lot of self-help books on this channel, and so I was like, I wonder if I should write a self-help book with Chewy. Girl, stop licking your balls. Anyway, let's get into Dog-a-Lessons. Now, in the video I posted last week, there was that part where Gabby Hanna brought up in her Instagram story that she thought it was offensive that Rachel had made a poetry book mocking her. I think there's a big difference between parody and bullying, and I brought that up in last week's video, but I want to reiterate that point and also read what Rachel actually wrote about it in the book itself, because I think that that's important. As you guys know, on this channel, we don't mind parody whatsoever. I parody shit all the time. I have my Ivy the Boss Babe character I dress up as. I made merch that says girl wash your ass and girl stop plagiarizing. I made a hat for my Your Morning Guru podcast with RK, which says 10x me daddy. It's a joke about Grant Cardone. So I parody business guru works all the time and sell it and things like that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And on top of that, Rachel Oates recently posted an Instagram story letting everyone know that she had been donating profits she got from this book to the animal shelter where she adopted her own dog, Kyra. And I thought that was really cool because, as you guys know, I donate 10% of my profits from Forever Home Friends to the shelter where I adopted Chewy from. But I wanted to read a little bit about her thoughts on this book and show you guys what she was saying here, because I think this really does show when you read this section that she was not making this book at all to mock Gabby or to bully her, but rather to combine some elements of humor and parody in with exploring how funny it would be to write poems from a dog's perspective, which turned out really funny. So after this section, we're not really going to talk about Gabby Hanna anymore because she's not really relevant beyond this. The poems stand on their own as being funny from a dog's perspective, and we're going to talk about that. So she says over here, I was inspired by Super Ray Dizzle's video where she got her dog to choose her art supplies to draw a portrait of him, of course, and these ideas came together after I critiqued Gabby Hanna's interesting poetry collection, Adult-a-Lessons, in a short series of videos. In those videos, I tried to critique Gabby's poems constructively for the most part anyway. What did I like Gabby do well? What were her flaws? Which bits seemed lazy or undeveloped? How could she improve them? And of course, I compared her poetry to other poems which I thought she could learn something from, poems of a similar theme or which tried to use similar techniques to Gabby. These videos performed far better than I ever expected, and the feedback was overwhelming and lovely, but a recurring joke I spotted in the comments was I wrote better poetry than this at X age. My silly brain won with the joke, oh yeah, I bet my 6-year-old daughter could write better poetry and she's a dog. And she even says down here, this proved way harder to plan than I first thought, but after a few hours and many Kyra cuddles later, we were just about ready to film a video together creating 5 or so poems. She says Gabby's poems were a great starting point. Some of the poems like Honey and Wish were more heavily influenced than others. I took the same structure and a few of the same lines and thought, well, how would Kyra respond to this? She doesn't care about being seen as deep or intellectual. All she wants is to enjoy herself and be happy. Then she talks about how she changed more considerably, so some of the poems were kind of based on what she saw in Gabby Hanna's work, and other poems were just kind of, they were a starting point, but they kind of evolved a lot beyond that. And she says, I don't know how well or any, I think that's a typo. That's okay, I don't really care. Any of my intentions came across in this collection. I am not a poet, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I am a dog lover, a very enthusiastic paw rinse. That's cute. And I at least attempt to be an entertainer and an educator. Let's not comment on my success there. So I just wanted to read that to show that I don't really think there was any bullying whatsoever that was involved here. This really does seem like parody of poems that Rachel didn't really like, but decided to make something funny out of it. I can't fault that. I mean, if you guys have a problem with that, then you might as well also have a problem with me selling the girl wash your ass t-shirt and things like that, because that's a parody of a book I didn't like. Like, I don't think it matters. But anyway, I think that we're going to be done talking about Gabby Hanna now. This is a book of poems that I want to stand on its own with its own merit, and I'm not a professional poetry critic. I'm just excited to read this and show you guys some of my favorite poems from this book. First, can we just look at this picture of Kyra? She's so cute. She's so cute. And here's the thing. So Chewy's not all staffy. We don't even know for sure what he is because we adopted him at 2 years old and we don't know his full history, but they're pretty sure he's part staffy, part shepherd. So I just love seeing Kyra because she's also a tiny little staffy. She also has the same kind of ears like Chewy where they stand up a little and then flip over a little. So cute. So the first poem in this book was called Poop, which I thought was hilarious because literally that's my sense of humor, but I just thought this poem was really cute. So here we go. I like poop. Poops are fun. My pooping work is never done. I like steak. Steak is great. Anyone who hates it must be fake. When I chase my ball around, everyone calls me a little clown. Look, I know this poem is really dumb, but it's better than what comes out of my bum. I thought that was really funny. So just so you guys know, I'm a sucker for poetry that rhymes, and maybe that makes me a poetry basic bitch or whatever, but I love when poetry rhymes because the rhymes just feel so good to me. In terms of like, really know there's a few lines that seem like they have a few extra syllables right there, like, look, I know this poem is really dumb. So it maybe would be like, I know this poem is really dumb. Is that iambic pentameter? I know this poem is really dumb. No, it's not. That's 8 syllables. I don't know my poetry shit. I'm not quite as good at this as Rachel is. But anyway, I thought this was funny and I love that ending on that line, but it's better than what comes out of my mouth. I thought that was hilarious. I liked this poem a lot, Mirror. This one I thought was hilarious because it also really reminded me of Chewy. And I like this poem even though it doesn't rhyme. And I saw in her video how it was inspired by the poem Cut, and this is going to be an example of how she didn't really base it exactly on that poem. I think this one was a pretty big difference from that poem, other than like it starts off one way and then there's a twist at the end. Even though, since you know it's from a dog's perspective, you know what the twist is gonna be, but I just thought it was really cute. So, there's another dog in my bedroom. She's staring at me with her beady eyes and stupid ears. I leap off the bed. She jumps too. My paws stretch out. My mouth opens wide and my poor little nose bangs into the mirror. Ah! Dude, this is so Chewy. This is like kind of like a funny thing I like to tell people because in the book Smile Chewy in the Forever Home Friends series, when Chewy's going through his like character arc, there's this part where he looks at his face in a reflection in a puddle of water to like ponder his body image. In real life, that would never happen. Chewy sees himself in the mirror and is like, who are you? What are you doing in my house? It's so funny. God, she's so cute. Oh my god. Oh my god, just look at that. I don't want to read too many of these poems out loud even though we're talking about them just because I don't want to like give away the whole book. I want people to get it. I'll link it in the description below. I'll put the Amazon link there, especially knowing that she's been donating a lot of the profits to help animal shelters, and that's so much of what my mission is. I really want to promote this and support it. God, these pictures are gonna be the death of me. She's so cute. This one like almost made me cry. This one was so sweet. It's called Humans. Humans are weird. Dogs adopting humans is weird. Think about it. We could have anyone we wanted, but we choose a certain human to love and care for us, and we become best friends, family. They depend on us, and all we ask is they fill our food bowl. We move into their home and make it our own. We teach them tricks and how to throw a ball. We let them take our photographs and buy us toys. We snuggle together, share secrets, and we can't believe it's possible to have a life so happy together. We trust each other, support each other, love each other. Our love is pure, unconditional, unrivaled. And yet one day, as much as we don't want to, we have to go, to leave them all alone. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I can't take this. I can't, holy shit, why did I just read that? Why did I just read that? Why did I just read that? I can't take this, I can't take this, I can't take this, I can't. The last poem I want to talk about is one of my favorites because it's called Texts, and this one actually doesn't rhyme either, but this one is, like, I've always wondered, like, I always make this joke when I leave, like, Chewy's gonna text us and be like, humans, when getting home, where is food? Chewy want food. He's gonna be like that. Like, we always make jokes about that. One time as a joke, I even bought Chewy, like, a toy cell phone and tried to film him playing with it, but he was not interested. I made Chewy an Instagram account, and I always would joke about how he posts to his own Instagram, and he would be like, Chewy posts to own Instagram. Humans do not post to Instagram for Chewy. Chewy do it all by self. Things like that. But no, Chewy does not post to his own Instagram because he's got paws. But anyway, I thought it was really cute to try poetry of a dog texting. Like, just what would a dog say if they had the ability to text you if you were gone? What kind of stuff would they say to you? What are they thinking in their head? What do we project onto them? So this one I think is really funny. It says, hey mom, When you coming home? You've been gone for so long. Please! I lost my ball under the sofa and it's gone forever. What am I going to do? What? Oh, nothing. Just singing to myself because you're not here to hear it. This must be it. All love forever. Apparently you just don't love me anymore, I see. Kyra, I'm taking the bins out. I've been gone 4 minutes. 4 minutes too long. This is exactly what Chewie would say in a text. I love, especially this part. This part right here. I lost my ball under the sofa and it's gone forever. We have times where Chewie, he will roll his ball under the couch and then he'll try to like fit himself all the way under it. And we're like, you are too big to fit under the couch. But one time he squeezed his whole little tiny self under the couch, or his whole big self in this case, under the couch because there were fireworks on New Year's and he was not having it. But sometimes if his ball rolls under the couch or if one of his toys rolls under the couch, especially if it's like a snack toy and it has food in it, he will get stuck behind the couch because he'll like try to go up behind the couch and then he'll get stuck between the couch and the window and he'll be like, oh, I can't get out. But I thought this was really cute and it just made me think again, like, what would Chewie say if he could text us? Or would he be like, humans gone, have house to self, going to chew on things. I don't know. So overall, I thought this book was a really creative and fun project, and I was really happy to read it, and I'm really grateful to Rachel for sending it to me. I was about to buy it. I'm like, I'm gonna buy it on Amazon right now. And she's like, oh, here, I'll send it to you. But I have it linked in the description below because I really want anyone to check it out who's interested. I know a lot of people have mentioned they're interested in this book, and it's just really, really cute. But I'm really biased because, as you guys know, I kind of like books about real rescue dogs. I kind of like books that tell it from a rescue dog's perspective and then donate part of the money to shelters. It's just kind of what I like. And now I'm kind of inspired to try writing a self-help book with Chewie and like put treats on cards and have him pick the words. I know that would be copying Rachel's video, but I would give her credit because I girl cite my sources. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. If that's something you'd be interested in me and Chewie doing, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe I'll run a Patreon poll or something for it. We'll see. By the way, today's video is brought to you by my Patreon supporters. Don't forget to check out the description below where my $5 a month and up Patreons have their websites or their own businesses or their social media linked there. I will see you guys again Friday. Tomorrow on the Your Morning Guru channel, RK is going to be doing the live stream podcast by himself because I'm going to be getting my second vaccine shot. So I'm going to be off in Gary, Indiana doing that because they have no openings anywhere in Chicago. In the meantime, don't forget to support small businesses. I'll see you Friday, friends. Bye!
Hit you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago.
You guys asked for it.